Hello and welcome to part 2 of something I did, how long ago? The Paul McCartney and Wings thing. I don't know when I did part 1, but hey, if you're going to do part 2 and leave a gap, you may as well do a good job of it. So I thought, well, we'll do part 2 of this. Now, I think the reason why I didn't do is because, again, I'm not a real big fan of sort of just showing you singles with no picture sleeves or anything like that, and just the generic thing. But with McCartney, sometimes you don't get that, and you sort of do get something on the label as well, as is the case with silly love songs. You can play Wings at the speed of sound, 45 RPM. Try not to look at it because I suppose it would get a bit hypnotic after a while. How can I tell you about my love songs, spinning around and around, spinning love songs. Oh, there we go. It's like do a greatest hits of the silly love songs, couldn't you? Yeah, the other good thing about that song is the bass line, and Paul McCartney, or Fab Macca, tends to be really good with coming up with innovative bass lines. One of the other bass lines of his I like is from Hey Bulldog, the Beatles. That one really gets me as well. And I've also got a German copy of it, and once again it's one of these stunning covers that you're waiting for me to do the Hue thing, or the two-tone thing, or the Hue two-tone thing, or something like that. So why not? So here we go with the two-tone, and then here we go with the Hue. And after that, I think probably back to me. Hi! I'm finished with the Hue now. Well, I suppose it would be H-U-G-H, given that there was a Hue in Wings, wasn't there? Oh, and in case you were wondering, the colour scheme for the other side of the record, well, at least it's consistent. Oh, that's a bit darker, isn't it? So, here we go. And the next one off of the speed of sound is, yeah, Let 'Em In, so we'll just, someone's knocking at the door. Alvin Stardust is knocking at the door. And there you go, a bit of consistency there with the labels. And going with something a little bit more visual and stuff like that is the Italian copy to Let Them In, or Let 'Em In, or Let Something In. And as for that number, I don't know what that means, 0521/01. That could mean, I don't know, the number or something like that. But what an interesting picture, interesting setup there. That's one messy poker game, isn't it? I don't know who'd be the winner in that. Not sure what they're trying to play out there. So yeah, what it looks like to me is it just looks like they're trying too hard to come up with some sort of new quirky look or something like that. They're just trying a bit too hard and it just doesn't seem to work. It looks like Denny's wearing an early version of a hoodie or some winter clothing thing. And next to him is Linda, who is obviously trying her best to look like a flapper. Yes, flap those poker cards, Linda. And of course with Let 'Em In, the names that are used as well are interesting in the lyrics. The names that are used, Brother John, which apparently was in reference to John Lennon, Phil and Don, the Everly brothers, and so there's friends and relatives all welcoming in, and even various neighbours around the place. I'm not too sure if I'd want to welcome them in. I don't know them, that's why. Yeah. And it's probably a bit hard to see, but this is the live version of Maybe I'm Amazed. And I first heard this on a documentary or something like that. And to be honest, that I really, there's just something about this version that surpasses so many of the other versions that I've heard. It's just really special version. Yeah, I could almost say it's my go-to version because it's just something special. I think I read somewhere that it was recorded towards the end of the tour or something. Oh, and of course on the other side you've got the Soily World, or Wings Over a Soily America. Oh, that has more credence to it these days than it did then, I suppose. I feel a bit sorry for the states that have the hole in it though. Either that, or maybe it's a rain map from the Bureau of Meteorology. So maybe they're amazed at what's going on weather-wise. And next up is a song nobody knows. It just went completely under the radar and the whole shebang like that. Is this one. And so yeah, the old Mull of Kintyre, there's 2 videos to it. It was just one of those big smash hits that ripped into heartstrings and stuff like that. Maybe it was a bagpipe thing or something. You know, he probably thought, oh well, let's do the antithesis of Bon Scott, hey? And next up, we've got one of those labels that's got a little bit of a picture on it, a little bit of a picture happening or whatever. London Town for the eponymous album as well. I just like how you do it that side and the weather gets a bit better on that side. So is that sort of winter and summer, maybe? Or I would have thought that it would be a case of one, the bridge would be open and the other bridge would be closed. Yeah, so may as well get a couple of seasons on your record. What kind of seasoning is anyone's guess? I suppose it depends on which aisle you go to, doesn't it? And next up, we've got something else from London Town, and I've had enough. Whether that's in reference to London Town, I don't quite know. It's kind of an interesting title for a follow-up, isn't it? And this one is from Holland. I've just noticed I don't actually have a copy of With a Little Luck. I think I better fix that, hadn't I? I've got ones where singles I should replace, and then I go through these and I find that there are some singles that I should get. I suppose in both cases they are singles that I should get, but with different kind of workings. And lucky last is the UK copy to I've Had Enough. Now when I first saw this, as you can understand, it was a bit freaky. And it's the same as the ad as well for in NME and the magazines like that. That's the ad that was used. So can you just imagine a A3 thing? So can you just imagine turning the page and then, oh, you know, he's only got eyes for you. Pastor Eyes. There we go. There's a religious experience for you, isn't there? Hello, I'm Pastor Eyes. And given that it's in black and white, you don't know what colour they are. And the other thing I've noticed is that they're all right eyes. So yeah, what is that song? Bright eyes, burning like fire. Yeah, there's too many right eyes, isn't there? Just one too many. But I suppose if nothing else, you've got the right eye for a cover, haven't you? So there we go, on that slightly Tim Burton note, I suppose. For some reason it made me think of that. And a very apt title, I Shall Be Off, and which is slightly ironic too, given that picture sleeve was slightly off too. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and if you did, please do all the likes and the subscribes and the bells and the whistles and the whole thing like that. And so yeah, thank you very much for watching. Please take care of yourself, and hopefully I shall see you in the next one. Ciao.